Are you even more confused? Who do you even believe at this point? Uncle Tae, who keeps explaining that Sang-eun has to die? What about the part that Hwa always manages to go back to her? What the hell does that mean? Does that mean that they were king and queen of the monsters? That could be possible, right? They're both in that large painting from Uncle Tae's house, but they're both facing away from each other while the rest of the monsters surround them. Hwa's back is turned away from Sang-eun. What does that mean? A betrayal? What about the half Bulgasal revelation? Uncle Tae is only half a Bulgasal, and he has a hole in his chest that Hwa gave to him 1,000 years ago? And why does Lee Jin-wook, the actor who plays Hwa, only have one facial expression?
What's up, Sunday fam? Welcome back to another video. I'm Element.
I'm Flip.
And we get together every week to talk about our favorite K-dramas and Asian dramas. And this week, of course, we're catching up with Bulgasal. And I swear, this show is just a perpetual, slide of, nothing happening. Nothing, we get revelations, but also those revelations don't really answer any questions. It's funny to think about it in that way because we've gotten so many theories correct, from the get-go. So I was first watching this show and I was thinking about how can there be a romance between Sang-eun and Hwa, and I was like, she couldn't have possibly wronged him, so it was someone else. So we got that right? Uncle Tae killed his family 600 years ago. And then there was your theory about Do-yeon being his son.
Yeah, and everything is coming true, but now we're even more confused, right? Like, we have some of that right, and it was kind of like... we kind of already knew that that was going to happen, so to speak, just the way the story was going. But I love the way that you said that this is a perpetual nothingness. Nothing is happening. It's a constant cycle. I don't understand why they're so blasé about everything. Like, there's this imminent danger. They're supposed to kill each other, but then they're just having these conversations. I'm going to put you in this well. Well, what about if I put you in this well? Well, let's fight and let's do all this stuff. Stabs him in the hole and all this stuff. And we get these final revelations, so to speak. Now we're even more confused.
And I told Flip, before recording this, I don't want to recap anything. There's nothing to recap. They moved houses and then that's it. Like, they had conversations and revealed a few things, but nothing really actually moved forward. They had a confrontation, Uncle Tae and Hwa, but again, nothing happened because more revelations were made. Hwa just ran away and didn't finish the job again, just left Uncle Tae in the mountains. And so now we, as Flip said, we have these revelations that 1,000 years ago it was Hwa and it was Uncle Tae and it was Sang-eun, and there's something there in that story, including the shaman, including Miss Lee, who just keeps on having these prophecies, these white-eyed moments where she reveals a few things that have something to do with the memory recollection of what happened 1,000 years ago. And so everything is just a whole cluster fluff of details from the story that there's just puzzle pieces at this point.
Yeah, so now we find out that she has the scar now. We don't know what happened because the cop came to kill her, and then all of a sudden she has a scar. She somehow reawoken the Bulgasal inside her or something, because they're half Bulgasal, so now they're a quarter or a third Bulgasals from each other. But there's something there about what Uncle Tae has said, that he always keeps going back to her. So maybe they were lovers in the past that we can only speculate. Like I said before in the beginning of this video, they might have been king and queen of the monsters. That's probably the easiest speculation that I can make.
Yeah, according to what Uncle Tae says about, the little bits and pieces we know about his past, it was a one-sided love for him. It was, at that point, I guess, 1,000 years ago, he loved her and she didn't love him, and something happened, right? We get the flashbacks towards the end of this latest episode of him killing, I guess, a whole bunch of people in her village, and that was the flashback she was having while touching her scar. But now it seems like things are reversed in this fashion, where Hwa doesn't like her, but she likes him. And it's a perpetual cycle, and I'm wondering if there's going to be a break in that cycle. If the crux of this show is just a break in the cycle over the 1,000 years that they've been, going back and forth with the one-sided love and killing people or killing each other's loved ones. And it's just, y'all just gotta stop and just hook up,
I mean, I don't know. There was that there was that board of investigation behind that large painting that like kind of like crossed everything together or connected everything together. Like for years and years and years, they keep doing the same thing. Like they keep coming back together and the same thing happens. I don't know what that same thing happens because they're still alive, so nothing has been solved yet. But I can only speculate or just start to kind of put some theories together. Hwal and Sang-eun, there's something between them two. They're star-crossed lovers, or they betrayed each other at some point, and I don't know who's the good person or who's the good guy and who's the bad guy. The last episode certainly portrayed Hwal being like the menace to the whole entire universe, but how everything's been pointing towards, they don't want Sang-eun to reawaken. They don't want Sang-eun to recollect these memories because something bad is going to happen. So I can only speculate that she's the big baddie in this one.
I don't know, because it all depends. Like the flashbacks we're seeing 1,000 years ago of Hwal massacring, I guess we'll just say for now, hypothetically, Sang-eun's family back then, points to the reason why if she recollected all of her memories back then, it would be the end of everything. Like, I guess... See, I'm just like seeing, I'm in a confused state of like 1,000 years ago to 600. There's a part of her memory that's missing, and then from 600, no, there's a part of a memory that Hwal is missing, and then from 600 to now, there's a part of her memory that's missing. And it's weird, like how that cycle kind of perpetuates itself, and like Hwal seemingly has something to do with like at the very beginning of it all, and then she has something to do with Hwal, and then she's not remembering, and then once everybody remembers, everyone dies.
So the one thing that we were wrong, like, or I was wrong, was that I thought that Okolte was like the Dracula of the show, that he was the original Bulgasal, but I guess he's not. So now it seems like they're pointing it towards Hwal being the original Bulgasal of the show, and something about him...
That's still shaky, because in one of their dialogues, he's like, you wanted me to turn you into a Bulgasal. So, like, where does, like...
Well, there was that
it's
scene...
like, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? And it's like, is Hwal the original Bulgasal? But then how is he the original if Okolte is supposed to turn him into a Bulgasal? This is all really confusing.
It's all very confusing. All we know is that they might just hook up at some point because they all keep going back to each other.
Yes.
But the last episode, the revelation there at the end where she kind of stabs Hwal in the shoulder as well is like, it's kind of starting to percolate a little bit because it's getting exciting. It was a perpetual of nothingness of this show. But now all of a sudden, all the puzzle pieces are still kind of all over the place, but now it's starting to focus in. And I'm kind of excited about the next couple of episodes.
I think the best way to put it is that each episode is just more puzzle pieces, but nothing ever gets put together.
I feel like I'm Don Hall's father reincarnate.
Guys, that'll do it for this video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and share. Tell us all the things you think is going to happen in this show, all of your theories, whether you think ours has some weight or validity, or if you are actually understanding this show and you have some semblance of what's going on. Let us know in the comments and let's see if you guys are right. But of course, yeah, that'll do it for this video. And as always, this is what we're watching this Sunday. We'll see you guys next time.